Hello, I'm Rafiuddin, and today I'm going to do a presentation on data privacy law and compliance, a comparative review of the European General Data Protection Regulation and USA regulations, which is a module to assignment of article analysis and presentation. Introduction to data privacy laws. Data privacy law protects personal information from unauthorized access, misuse, and breaches. The Europe's General Data Protection Regulation is a comprehensive right-based framework. The US follows a sectoral approach with various state and federal laws like HIPAA and CCPA. Compliance with these regulations is crucial for businesses handling personal data globally. And EU GDPR key features, which was introduced in 2018. The GDPR is a unified data protection law for all EU member states, focuses on individual rights including the right to be forgotten, data portability, and consent-based processing. It enforces strict penalties up to 20 million euros or 4% of global annual revenue for non-compliance. Requires data breach notification within 72 hours to relevant authorities. The US data privacy laws is a sectoral approach. The US lacks a single federal data privacy law and follows a sectoral based approach. HIPAA protects health data, CCPA grants privacy rights to California residents, and GLBA regulates financial data. Enforcement varies across states, making compliance more complex than GDPR. Companies operating in the US must navigate multiple state and industry-specific regulations. And the key differences between GDPR and US regulations. Uh, the scope for GDPR applies to all personal data processing in the EU, whereas US regulations sector-specific laws may vary by industry. The consent for GDPR is explicit opt-in required, whereas US regulation is often implied or opt-out based. The enforcement for GDPR includes heavy fines and strict oversight, whereas the US regulations weaker enforcement and fines may vary. The rights for GDPR is right to be forgotten and portability, whereas for US regulation is limited consumer rights. The compliance challenges and business impact. Global businesses must comply with both GDPR and US regulations to avoid fines. Differences in consents requirements, data breach notifications, and user rights to create legal complexities. Many companies adopt a GDPR compliant model to streamline compliance. The US is moving towards stricter data laws, but a federal privacy law is still lacking. The conclusion and future trends. GDPR sets a global standard for data protection with strong enforcement mechanisms. The US may introduce a federal privacy law to unify state regulations, and businesses must adopt privacy-first approaches and proactive compliance strategies. The future trends include stricter AI data governance laws and increased global harmonization of data privacy standards.